Thank you, Peter, for sharing your journey with us. Our next speaker is the founder and past president of the Vancouver Thalassemia Society of British Columbia. She has recently penned her emotionally charged memoir entitled Isabel's Journey. She is going to talk about life's stumbling blocks along with the topics of incorrect viewpoints and ignorance. She also has been awarded the best looking Sammarco family member. No offense, Peter. Please welcome Serafina Sammarco.
I'm not sure what that means. I've been awarded something. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
And thank you again for your invitation. I am honored to be talking to you all today, and seeing that I have only 15 minutes, I make it very brief. How does holistic inner science, how do I interpret it according to my experience? And it's interesting from all that I heard yesterday and today, how I came to terms with the fact that I actually put it to use many years ago. And when I say many years ago, I'm talking about over 40 years ago, when I didn't know it even had a name. I'm glad to see it has a name now. And I wish to see it flourish and expand, and we can all learn. And I am referring to my experience when we were told the very devastating news that my daughter's life would be short. And, having to make that choice as how we are going to handle it. So that's why I would say we have no control of the circumstances, but we certainly have control how we react or how we come out of it. Now, I could have gone into that pity party and say, oh, what are we going to do? And poor me, why is this happening to me? And so on and so forth. But we made a different choice. And when I say we, I've been married for so many years that it's automatic I say we. I mean husband and I. We made this choice because it was the right choice for us. And it made life a lot easier. We didn't know what was going to happen, but we chose to live a happy, holistic life, in the sense that we really, truly cherish every single day of our lives with our daughter. We love to see Peter and Isabella interact with each other. They were not to be spoiled, neither one of them, or favor one over the other. We needed to be fair, and we hope that we did that. And I really, listening to Peter speak, I learn myself every time. And I think we did okay after so many years of our own experience. Thank you. And I can assure you that I am here today, but besides the fact that we had that challenge with my daughter Isabella, but there were other challenges in our lifestyle, in our life, in the last 47 years that we've been married. But again, that did not stop us from living to the fullest. Now, how did we manage? Well, we chose things that were within our control. Things like diet. There was no other answer but to live a well-balanced diet, not just for her, but for all of us. Now today, everybody's talking about having a healthy diet, but nobody taught us. To this day, still, these children are adults now, because now we've come a long way, and many of them live a long life, a longer life than what we knew. Diet is one thing that is stressed and they can control. That's holistic too in its own. Exercise, that's normal. Well, normal, we should exercise. A healthy living, that is within our control. Holistic inner science teaches healthy living in whichever form it applies. It applies to different people in different ways. Healthy living, in order to go on with any challenges in life, whether it's health issues or others. In my case, for example, for us it was very, very important to stay united with my husband. Because if we were not united and we were not living in that harmonious energy, we would not be able to handle the difficult days. And that meant having regular dates. We used to make sure that we carved a little bit of time for ourselves. And when we did not, and our children had reached a certain age, you know what they used to do? They used to make arrangements for their own babysitter and forced us to go out. They'd say, Mom and Dad, it's time for you to go out. So we used to do that. That made us stronger, so that it gave us that energy to apply it to those days that were really difficult ones. What did I do over the years? Well, people today tell me, I have a friend actually, she's a very good friend, she's been a friend for about 25 years. And we usually go for walks in nature, and we relax and we do the things that two women, two friends do together. And often when I gave her the schedule as to what I'm going to have to be doing the next week or so, she says, Serafina, I don't know how you do it. I am so proud of you. You did this, and that. And I'm going, Sheila, what did I do? There's still so much that I need to do. Yeah, but you did this and this and this. I'm just taking, what's the expression, the bull by the horn, and just do whatever it is that I need to do. And that applied before, and it applies to me now. The other decision that I had to make years ago was to, and that goes to the other part that we talked about, giving to others. Be open, be generous, because when you are generous, it comes to you, it comes back to you. And in watching my daughter being generous with her time and her efforts, like for example, that one time when she was only in grade 6, and her principal comes to her and says, actually he asked my permission and said, Mrs. Sammarco, can I ask a favor of you, if it's okay for Isabella to talk to this new girl in the school, because she's having a real hard time adjusting. Now, we're talking about, they're asking this girl, my daughter, with the tremendous amount of health issues, to help this girl to adjust to the school. Why? Because Isabella always got outside of herself to help others. And so the principal picked up on that, even at a very young age. That goes back to what I was talking about yesterday. She did not say, poor me, I have this condition and you need to be nice to me. No. She went out and helped others when they needed help. And she did. This girl, her name was Debbie, remained her best friend for a long, long time. And it was interesting to see, because this girl was a very big girl, tall girl, versus my daughter, little person. And the little person was helping the big person. So after her passing, I felt like I needed to continue her legacy, and that's when I started this Vancouver Thalassemia Society. Mainly because during the years that we were experiencing this, there was no outside help. People would say, she's got that. To this day, people still don't know how to pronounce thalassemia, let alone know the challenges that we were going through. I usually tell the other story about this young mother one time when I was picking up my daughter from school, and she was picking up her daughter, and she was fretting and she was very anxious, and I asked her, what's wrong? And she said, I am really, really anxious for my daughter to come out of school because when I dropped her off, she had the sniffles, and I'm afraid that she's got a cold and she's not feeling well. Oh, and I said, don't worry, I'm sure she'll be all right. And guess what I was picking up my daughter for? I was picking her up to go take her to the hospital for a cross match for the next day to get transfused so that she could actually survive. And so again, putting things in perspective, but her problem was a big problem, and this is my point. It doesn't matter what anybody's problem, it could be a little problem, could be a big problem. It depends how we choose to. It's still a problem to us. That poor woman was really anxious about her daughter. And she had every right to be. So take into consideration that we need to help, lend a helping hand, a lending helping ear, whatever it is. And again, that goes hand in hand with holistic science. And so what I did after her passing, I used to go every single week on a regular basis to the hospital to see if I can come across any other patients that would have that were being transfused. And that's because of privacy issues. I was not to be given any names, so I had to find out for myself. And because I practically lived in the hospital, they all knew me. So I went in business and collected a bunch of names, and that's how it became this support group. And it started with a support group to give knowledge, a little bit of knowledge and support, financial and emotional support to families and children with this. I eventually collected a small group of people, but we also wanted to do a bit of fundraising, and in order to be taken seriously, we needed to be registered. We did that, so a lot of work went into that. And so that's how I contributed to society, and to this day I still try to do that on a different level. Whatever needs to be done, we do it. I've decided a few years back, well, 2 or 3 years back, to write her story, because this small group in our community is very active, but not enough to really convey the message. So I thought, if I write her story, maybe I can use that along with a bit of education. And so I wrote her memoirs, Isabella's Journey. And that's what I use as well when I speak to people, and let them understand that it doesn't matter what your problems are, you can solve it. Get outside of yourself. Help others. And I am at an age now that one day I do want to stay back, so maybe one day I will do that, but there's still a lot of work to be done, and I'm really, really, really very happy to see that holistic science is going that direction, where it's really hand in hand with what I instinctively have done for a number of years. And I wish all the best, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mrs. Sammarco, for sharing your experiences. At this point, I'd like to bring up Dr. Dinesh Patel to make a brief presentation. Are you here, Doctor?
Yeah, there's not a long, lengthy presentation, it's just a ceremony. And our little thank you to the Sammarcos, Serafina and Peter. We really appreciate, very appreciate your time to come all the way from Vancouver and sharing your thoughts and experience. We do appreciate it. Small token from Holistic Science Charitable Research Foundation and the group J. Sachidanand here in the Western chapter. Please, this is for you, ma'am. Thank you very much again.
You want to pause 1 second? 1 second.
Oh, sure. With you?
Yeah. Right then.
And again, our sincere thanks to Swamiji and Sailesh Bhai to give all the thoughts. I think we'll now open for question and answers, or you still have something, ma'am? Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So at this juncture, we're going to do a practical session workshop. So I'm going to invite Deepak Anandji up to the podium to begin that.
Is he going to grade us?
Yes.
Don't say not again.
Let's say yes again.
Yeah, very good. Give us the answers so we will not be stressed out. Somebody laughed, joke and laughed.
Right.
It works. Eventually.
Any theory without its practical aspect is big zero.
All 7 correct?
So a situation had come in the present scientist who is there with the founder scientist. It was related to some work, and a point came and he said that I need all the calculations based on theory, so it should be okay. The founder master said, but it's not practical. It's not practical. Although you did all the calculations based on the theory what you learned, but this is not practical. Then the question came up, what comes first? Theory or practical? What is the answer? Theory is developed based on practical. So the practical aspect of anything is the confirmatory aspect which will confirm and prove the theory. Okay. So we will try to handle a practical session. Okay.
One more? This is morning. Is this morning session?
Yes.
Looks like.
Okay.
No, that's this session, that's it. That's listed here as session D.
This is the one.
Uh-huh, that's the first one, yeah.
Okay.
This is the new one.
Yeah, we will just try to see the one at the bottom, the holistic revelation which is there. Mind, the very mind, is the cause of suffering and wandering. And the very mind is the cause of freedom and bliss.
We agree.
So, because that being the principle, everyone have to agree. And if they don't, then they have to go through this class, this seminar, this science, and ultimately come to this conclusion. Because all these revelations are not based on theory, but 100% practical. So that's what it is said. So we will try to understand that whatever we see and come across outside is there here inside. This building, when it was in its making stage, it was in somebody's mind, and that's how it came into reality. And if that is the principle, whatever we are today, what you see me today, what I experience myself today, was in somebody's mind previously, and that's how I'm here now. Automatic. What are the typical things that we have in our mind? What does our mind do? It has a bunch of opinions, beliefs, what we have brought along with us. And that is the cause of our problem. If we don't have a kind of belief or an opinion, I'm okay. But if I have some different kind of opinion, then I'm in trouble. The situation doesn't change. But because of my opinion, I'm in trouble, I'm in distress. So what I need is to understand, to know that it is because of this opinion of mine that I'm in trouble. So if this opinion changes, then there is no trouble with the situation. So what all do we have in our mind that we try to evaluate and understand? There are so many mistakes that we might have committed, and when we recollect them, we have a kind of guilt feeling, and it is very difficult for me to open myself to anyone. And this situation is very practical and realistic. Because certain mistakes that are committed, and if you divulge to someone, open up to someone, maybe that person will get sick of that. It is possible. It is possible. But it is only possible with a fully experienced holistic scientist, wherein you naturally open up yourself to him, and he has that inner power to take care of that situation also. It is something exclusive, and that is what, and that is how whoever who goes to him, we get benefited. We get benefited. We have a lot of burden of our self-mistakes, what we recollect. And it is like, for all practical purpose, it is impossible. Husband cannot tell his wife, wife cannot tell her husband, children cannot open up to their parents, parents cannot open up to their children, with friends, with any other person. With that divinity within us, we can open up ourselves to that divinity, ultimately. Because when we have this vision with us, we become impartial towards ourselves. So whatever we are opening about, it doesn't belong to me. And that's how I can open up myself, I can rectify myself, I can resolve never to commit again. So that is the problem. And the other part is the false ownership of our mind, speech, and body due to self-ignorance, which is thrust upon me by the surrounding people whom I grew up. I did not know that my name is Deepak Anand. They thrust upon me and told me that you are Deepak Anand. Isn't that? I was in the cradle, knowing nothing, and they just bombarded me with that name. For me, it was not a name. It was just some funny sound, crazy sound, maybe. And over a period of time, I started accepting that as me, something that belongs to me. That's who I am. Because I see all others also accepting their names as they are. So that is the cause of my self-ignorance. But when I come across the holistic scientist who has known himself, then my problem also gets solved, because it is only through his divine grace. And it is not in anybody's capacity to transform one's belief. It is not by words. That is his special power, we can say, with which he blesses us with our true identity. Next, please. Okay, now we will talk, somebody talked about meditation and all that. And we hear a lot about meditation. But what does really meditation refer to, or what it means? In this light, the power of the light is to illumine. The power of the light is to illumine. And what I should be doing in this light is look around for all unevenness, all incorrectness, because that is what bothers me, that what hurts me. Everything that is correct, everything that is in order, that is going to give me happiness, no doubt. But all that is incorrect, not in order, what we may call that as mistakes, incorrectness, that is going to hurt me, that is going to make me suffer. And that what really hurts me. So the process is, you have to have that powerful light within you, open without any dent or without any obstacle or without like a sky free of clouds. Today it was clear in the morning on the Newport coast. Otherwise, last 2 days it was foggy. And today when I just got up, I could see everything through and through. So it looks like today is a wonderful day. So the first process is retrospection. Recap, you recall true perception. So you have to sit for a while, decide that, like how you sit in your car and probably when you don't know the directions, but you know the destination, you set your GPS and you start moving. Same way, whatever that is bothering you, whatever that is hurting you, is really, driving your nerves, then you can take that particular aspect of yourself, put it as a goal, as a point of your focus, that where all you are committing that mistake, how are you committing that mistake? You want to know that. In what situations these mistakes were committed and how can I come out of it? That the light itself will guide us. So with that decision, I sit with a prayer, a kind of prayer we can say. It's like how you set your GPS. Prayer relates to setting yourself what you want to do. And you ask for that divine strength and power so that that light helps you guide your way to reach your mistake, to correct your mistake, and resolve to come out of it and never commit that again. So it is basically of 3 steps. The first step, you're preparing, or rather 4 steps you can say. First step, you're preparing. The next step is the real, you're getting into it. The moment that light illumines your mistake, it is my duty that I accept that mistake. So it's like if someone tells me, Deepak Anand, you committed this mistake. It's like if someone is seeing my action or the way I am talking as a mistake, it is my duty that I accept it. You're right. For example, I'm driving and the guy in front of me, he just stops. What am I supposed to do? Out of my way? I'm not going to listen to you, I'm not going to see you. And ahead of him, I see that the road is clear. What do I do? What do I do?
Accept.
Don't I stop myself?
Don't worry.
Right? And it's a wonderful thing the holistic scientist has revealed and opened up. Wherever, at any moment, anybody raises red signal to me, I stop. Because it is in nobody's capacity, it is nobody's right to stop you. And if somebody is stopping you, it got to be your mistake. Although you're not able to see that, you're not able to accept that, but wisdom lies in the fact that you accept your mistake and stop there. Because your intellect, your resources don't make you accept the mistake. But if you still don't accept the mistake, then you're going to dash with the guy. Like how you stop when the guy in front of you stops, maybe for some reason or for no reason. Okay? So accept. So what it means, approving your mistakes. The moment you come across that, you come to know that acceptance is very important. Only then what it means, to say anything as a trash, I will pick and put it into the bin. But if I don't consider or accept or approve that as a trash, I'm not going to pick it. So accepting your mistake as a mistake is a very important step of meditation and self-correction. Meditation you do for self-correction, like how we go to bathroom to, shower to every day that people do, and maybe sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. If the weather is bad, it's very hot, so you say, I perspire a lot and I need to clean up myself, that way. So approving your mistake. The next step would be, you will ask for forgiveness. Expression of regret. The more heartily and sincerely you regret, more precisely that mistake just walks out of your life. But if you're not very sincere and clear about your mistake, then you won't have that feeling of regret. All that serious or hearty regret won't be there. So the second step is also very vital. And after that, you have to resolve, make a firm decision that I will not do this again. So just imagine, all the 3 steps are of vital importance. They just follow one after another. Let us see how does our mind works. If I decide, then the decision part is of ego. Intellect is the light of the divinity, the pure soul, passing through egoism. So our intellect will act as per our ego. So when I have decided I will do this or I won't do this, my intellect works accordingly. So intellect is like the gatekeeper. I may come across different situations, but my intellect will allow me or stop me doing certain things based on my decision. So this is how my decision is so much of importance. That's why the third step, resolution, is very important. It won't allow me to commit that mistake at all because of this firm, clear decision. Why I should feel sorry? Because if I don't feel sorry, it will remain in my mind as an opinion. To free myself from that opinion, from that belief, I need to feel sorry for that. And more heartily I feel sorry, more easily or more clearly my mind gets cleaned of that mistake. You understand? How to change your intellect and how to clear your mind. It is 100% in principle, 100% scientific. So by feeling sorry, you're clearing your mind and making a firm decision, you are changing your intellect. You are changing the gatekeeper's mind, meaning the decision making. And it won't allow. So when you are making a decision with firm conviction, it is not possible that someone can make you change. Because you are with that total conviction. So with this thing in our mind, we will try to, is it possible to have a small experiment? We'll try to, maybe just 5 minutes as a workshop. And this is the greatest contribution of holistic science: acceptance, apology, and resolution.
Is it okay to ask one quick question?
Yes, important, because then where will you go?
Okay. Now, consider that there was really no mistake, but because I am following this, I accept my mistake, which was not in the mistake in the first place. Now, if I have
Just
not
before you finish that, if there was no mistake, you would not have been here. In principle, nobody goes to hotel without intention of eating. Nobody visits hospital just for the sake of nothing.
Can I give you an example of
Yes.
my question? Okay.
Yes?
Yeah, I was teaching somewhere, and there was another lecturer sitting there who was not my student, and pointed out that I said this wrong, and I said no, I did not say that. He said no, you did. So I did say sorry. Okay, I made a mistake. I will correct it in the next class, etc. What I didn't realize that everything was recorded, and when it was played, I was right. I had not made any mistake there. So now my question to you with that example: when I have not made any mistake, why should I say sorry to begin with?
If there was no mistake, why was that red signal was there? The circumstantial evidence did not prove your mistake, but the scientific circumstantial evidence did prove your mistake.
The person was not listening carefully.
Is that his mistake or your mistake?
According to you, it is my mistake, but according to me, it is his mistake.
That is why the world judges the situation based on circumstantial evidences. And the one who really wants to free himself or herself will judge the situation from scientific circumstantial evidences. Those evidences which are scientific, meaning they're not visible through our eyes or perception, but still they are taking part in the situation and obstructing you.
Okay, now
Did
that
you
comes-
understand?
Yes and no. I will know when you answer my last one. Decide never to do it again, that resolution. Now, when there was no mistake, how can I decide I will never make that mistake again, which I didn't make in the first place? See, if I was, okay,
The
let me,
problem-
no,
okay.
seriously, let me, okay. Did I make a mistake knowingly? No. Okay, when I don't know what mistake I made, how can I decide never to do it again? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
The world is operated by instrument and instrumentality aspect. Without a cause inside, there can never be any effect outside. So it is very difficult to perceive certain things, accept certain things using our intellect. When somebody is holding the red signal and telling you you are at fault, and still if you don't accept, you'll be wasting your time.
No, I had accepted, I mean.
Yeah, but then, see, because there are so many mistakes which are committed knowingly or unknowingly. You understand?
I will have to meditate on all of this.
That's what we are doing now.
I have a question
Yes, please.
on the same line, the same thing in my mind. And last week, the same thing I asked from Swamiji, that as a as I'm living in the house and surrounded my children with family around, I should say, with the family around, I face sometimes problems or some things which the same way as she's telling that I know that I didn't commit that mistake and I'm not wrong, but I have to accept it just to keep the harmony in the house. And the second thing,
There was no disharmony outside, there was disharmony inside.
whatever it is, maybe this holistic science, this holistic attending those seminars, those patients or that kind of feeling in me, it gives peace of mind just to accept it, and the situation there and then. But then I asked the Swamiji, do you have, because he has renounced the world, but still living in the world, preaching, I asked, do you occur some time of this kind of confrontation or some kind of words which you don't like? And you are living among, like people among us, and do you face problem like this? I am in the family, I have to face it. But what you do if you occur this kind of problem? He said to me that then I sit in the meditation and go on meditation, do meditation for a while, means for an hour or so, until and unless I come out of that. But as a person living in the family or living people around all the time with the husband and the children, whatever it is, I don't have that much patience to do that much meditation, to compromise myself, I should say, in other words. That the same thing I'm asking you, Ashia, what should, of course now I reconcile, and the other person over the period he realized that I committed a mistake, but he never apologized, because he's not into this holistic feeling like that, and he took it as a granted that whatever I said it because it's, I should not mention, because the mom has to, being the mom, she has to tolerate whatever has happened in the family. It's a simple question. So, but I am into this, I started gaining that tolerance, but for him, how to correct him so that the other person should not commit the mistake, that kind of mistake, living in the family, living in the children. As a mom, I can, for me it's okay, but to make the harmony in the family, with the dealing with the
Yes, to
other
attend
people,
the seminar.
he should be correct it. What is the best way to correct? Since he is not attending these holistic seminars.
So it's like
Chicken.
when they cannot come here, you have to make yourself a living example. Only then it is possible to pass on the message. Otherwise the message won't pass. Very simple. See, the beauty of this science and the vision is such, eventually we come to know the facts as it is. Today we only see and anticipate and extrapolate in a way. Wherever we see smoke, there has to be fire. And if there is no fire, there cannot be any smoke. So wherever we come across smoke, there has to be fire. And that's how we take corrective actions. But eventually, when this vision becomes transparent, in the sense through and through, you will have all your answers. You don't even have to ask anybody. Because even if you ask, unless and until you see yourself, that conviction cannot come. And it will come. But patience is the name of the game. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. This is what,
So
because
wait.
of attending these.
Wait
So
and
we-
watch. That's the only way. That's the only way.
Sorry, can I ask,
Yes, please.
about meditation, how can we slow down the racing mind?
That's what.
It's too fast.
So it's like the moment you watch yourself, the moment you start watching yourself, it will become normal.
Watching my thoughts or watching,
Yeah, watching your mind, watching your thoughts means watching your mind.
so let the thoughts go.
It is going only. But the speed is such that you cannot handle it, but eventually you will be able to handle it.
Because
Because-
right now they are causing distraction.
Yes, it is going to happen, but we are in the process and we have to participate and follow this experiment. Slowly, slowly you will gain that strength and then you will be able to manage. But you cannot do any kind of hurry or any kind of haste. That those three words, desire, what was the second one?
Right.
Pride and haste. Okay?
Thank you.
Right. So we will try to just do a small experiment of just 5 minutes. We will close our eyes and try to see where all did I heard through my thoughts, through my speech, and through my actions. We have lived at least 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years of our life. So some of them may be 75 or 80 years old. And I'm sure somewhere in our life we have heard someone or the other. And even if you cannot see, which is possible because there are so many clouds, the weather is very foggy inside. So it is possible we may not be able to see. But the very fact that I don't feel myself happy and cheerful, there is some problem inside. Do you understand that? If I have not committed any mistake, I will experience that cheerfulness and happiness without anything. Even if I am hungry, I don't have food, that happiness factor, that cheerfulness, nobody can snatch away from me. Okay? Because that's again, wherever there is smoke, there is fire. And if there is no fire, there cannot be any smoke. Okay? The clock starts now. I will say Jai Satchidanand to close and Jai Satchidanand to start. Now. Jai Sachidanand. Could you see anything? Something, even one mistake? The holistic science says, this inner science says, if you can and if you do see only one mistake, identify that as a mistake, and if you correct that mistake, you will definitely fathom the ultimate state of perfection one day, because your journey has started. It is not possible, or it is not in anybody's capacity to see one's own mistake. Accept that as my mistake. Otherwise, our ego is such, it won't allow us to see our mistake. It will always say and find out other people's mistake. So that is there. One more thing. This is not a physical activity you have to do. It's like we take bath or we go for a walk or so, or go to gym. It's not like that. Whenever it is convenient, whenever it is easy for you, you can do that. There's no fixed time for that. It's not like every day 6 o'clock I have to do that. No. It's not like that. So that is the thing. Okay, next please. Why did you not bring it down a little bit? Not able to read. What we need is, at times we have to understand, evaluate, do I have opinions? It's like, I look at someone and say, what kind of dress, what kind of hairstyle, what kind of this person is, why is it like that, or why is it he or she is like that. Now, I have no right, but see, our mind, through one, it was said by Shailesh, whatever I gather from the five senses, my mind gets initiated. Depending on what I have got along with me, they will just pop up in the form of thoughts. Opinions, they just pop up as thoughts. And that's how my body or I react. Looking at someone, or if I feel something, if I listen to something, if I taste something, if I scent something. So this is just a kind of overview. That's how our mind gets initiated, and depending upon those thoughts, my reflective consciousness sees those things in reality. I'll give you a very tangible example. Standing here, my throat is getting dried. So it is through the senses, touch sense, I experience dryness in my throat, and immediately I get a thought, I want to drink water. Now this is the thought that is popping up. Now I see, this guy did put water over here, all water is there. So the reality, in the sense, I know that water could be here, water could be there, or maybe at the back. I say, oh, it's that far, forget it, I can manage. So who is evaluating that it's that far? That's where the intellect comes. The reflective consciousness gives me the picture of the places where water is available. But it is not possible for me to reach there right away when I'm talking. So my intellect says, forget now. You can manage, there's no problem. So no action is being taken. I just continue doing that. But because it is really now getting dry, and I'm really looking for water, so then I feel that no, I have to interrupt. Excuse me, can you get some water please?
Do you need
So
it?
now
Do you need
The
water?
intellect has evaluated that, no, I need to drink water. What is it, please?
Do you need water?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is how our inside things work. So based on everything is nothing but reflection of our mind. How our mind is. That's how it is there. So now we are just trying to understand that whatever thoughts are there, they will eventually come in my speech. And those that things come in my speech, they come into my actions. So that is where we just want to have a kind of overview of what is there in our mind, how it will just pop up, how it will get expressed in my speech and in my actions over a period of time. So that is how. We, in the meditation, what happens, we try to recollect the past situations, perceive, understand and analyze through the holistic vision. Correct them and resolve. Does that make some sense? Unless I have a reference, an ideal situation, how will I know that this thought is a mistake, this speech is a mistake, or this action is a mistake? The holistic vision gives me that reference, that standard. Now, ultimately, what is important, we eventually have to listen to our own speech. Listening to our own speech, because speech is nothing but expression of one's ego.
Really?
Yes, very much. So, if you are wise enough, you will listen to the other person and immediately evaluate the other person's ego. And if you don't want to clash with yourself, you will maneuver yourself in such a way you don't clash with the person. So your verbal communication will be such that you don't clash. But that eventually it will come. It is not an achievement of overnight effort. No. It's like nobody wins a gold medal by working overnight. It's a long drawn effort, very well programmed efforts that is needed. So anybody's expression, speech is expression of one's ego. So how that person's ego is, we'll get to know from how he speaks. So that's that indication. Okay, ego means bunch of opinions, beliefs, and that's how everyone is. Whatever, if you try to identify a person, who that person is, then it will be seen through his ego. And everyone lives by that ego only, as I am Deepak Anand. It is only that holistic scientist who has surpassed all the weaknesses. He has reached the center. He sees the center everywhere. He deals from the center. He goes and deals with the viewpoint, adjusts with the viewpoint, and still remain in the center, firm and clear. That's why he don't find any separation, any differences with anybody. So another wonderful revelation, how to identify the holistic scientist. His innocent eyes and faultless speech is the striking quality to recognize a holistic scientist. These two things, nobody can hide it. The moment you do something, it's going to get expressed through speech. And that is why his speech is the measure of his state of being, who he is. And if you can't, make him speak like that, then his eyes are the indication. That's why people go to temple, and when they say, we want to have the divine sight of God, I want to see God. But how will you see God? Right. But when that God gets manifested like this, through his innocence, because he sees everybody innocent. Nobody for him is at fault. And that is how, when we see that person, that thing will also open within us. Next, please. Okay, just this was one of the tools. There are other supporting tools, like how we say that if you want to live a healthy life, then you go to the gym, do this, eat properly, do all this stuff like that. So the 9 diamonds what we talked about yesterday as a mode of living, as a prayer, we can contemplate on that. Then prayer to the pure soul. Any mistake which is committed in presence of our inner divinity, that is our inner pure soul. And we open up ourselves to that inner soul only. We repent to the inner soul only. We resolve in the witness, in the presence of that inner soul only. And the outer individual is only an instrument helping us know our mistake. Listening hymn of holistic science, where all these subtle principles are expressed in the form of poems. So when you listen to that, the whole purpose of this is to keep yourself in touch with the science. Because it is not like that once in a while you attend the seminar and you will perfect that. Not possible. Like if you're going to want to win a gold medal, then you have to really spend few hours. But that spending is by your own choice and will. So, reading experiences of the holistic scientists, listening and viewing recorded materials, they are all available. Online also it is available. Keeping in touch with the holistic science group through social media, not just for chatting, but for this purpose. And attend regular meetings whenever our president of our local chapter, if he arranges, whenever it is possible, do attend. Let this go, because outside all garbage goes inside. He has done wrong, that guy has done wrong, he's at fault, she's at fault. And when we are hammered with that belief, and that's how we become like that. So when we are hammered with the right understanding, our inner self also will become perfect. Next please. Okay. What is the criteria of, we have to have some criteria of a perfect speech. To what will we call as perfect speech? Speech will be considered as perfect when it encompasses the following criteria. Number 1, it should be truthful. What it means, it should have some meaning, it should have some sense. It should be beneficial. If I talk, it should be beneficial to the other person. It should not be too long. It's like people get bored, is talking too much, right? So if you want to really give something, it should be short and sweet, and it should be loving. I can't be very aggressive and pass on this message. It should have some feeling of compassion in this. So if the communication is not loving, nobody will accept that. So these 4 factors are very primary, very basic. Okay. Principally, the speech should follow this holistic science. It should have the science factor in it. Further, it should be amicable. Our speech should not hurt anybody. However, you are passing on the truth. Further, it should be meant for the benefit of the speaker first. Do you understand?
Help ourselves first.
You know the best part, what I have learned, which I am trying to learn, I am not speaking for anyone, I am speaking for myself. So that part is lying here. And finally, it should appropriately fit the situation. If your speech don't fit the situation, then you're wrong. It's like if I want to really tell or pass a message to my subordinate and he has done something wrong, then I cannot just catch him somewhere and tell him. No, I call him in my office, have that situation, and then only I should tell. Although it is correct, he has committed a mistake, and that doesn't give me any right to tell him anywhere. Do you understand that? These are some of very basic things, but still it is left oversight and we end up doing wrong. Okay, next please. This is the final. When I see the world faultless and perfectly in order, my eyes will become totally innocent. He is the holistic scientist. These are his eyes. His Divine Holiness Kanunagari. Next please.
Chair.
Oh sorry, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.